Many imagine a loud, muscle-bound warrior who loves drinking, smashing things, and charging headfirst into battle. Popular culture has often painted him as a lovable brute, a god whose greatest qualities are his fists and his hammer. But is that really who Thor was? When we look beyond Hollywood and return to the original Norse myths, we discover someone quite different. A protector, a guardian, a dependable friend. A symbol of strength used in service of others. Perhaps this is why Thor became the most beloved god among ordinary Viking people. Today, we're exploring the real Thor and why he has inspired people over 1,000 years. The people's god. Unlike Odin, who was associated with kings, poets and seekers of hidden wisdom, Thor belonged to everyone. Farmers, blacksmiths, fishermen, families, travellers and children. He wasn't a distant ruler sitting upon a throne. He was the god people believed stood between them and the dangers of the world. Every time thunder rolled across the sky, many believed Thor was riding his chariot, protecting both Asgard and Midgard from the forces of chaos. He wasn't looking for glory. He was doing his duty, the defender of Midgard. One thing becomes clear when reading the myths: Thor rarely fights because he enjoys violence. He fights because something or someone needs protecting. Again and again, the giants threaten the gods, humanity, or the natural order. Again and again, Thor answers. Mjolnir is not simply a weapon, it is a shield. Every swing of the hammer pushes back chaos and preserves the world a little longer. Thor isn't a conqueror, he's a guardian. Strength with purpose. Thor is undoubtedly the strongest of the gods, but strength alone isn't what defines him. After all, so many giants are physically powerful. Thor's strength has purpose. He uses it to defend those who cannot defend themselves. That distinction matters. Power without compassion becomes tyranny. Power guarded by kindness becomes protection. Thor represents the second, the god you could trust. One reason Thor became so popular among ordinary people is that he was reliable. Odin was brilliant, but Odin was also mysterious. He wandered the world in disguise. He tested people. He made difficult bargains. Thor was different. If danger appeared, Thor came. If monsters threatened, Thor fought. There was comfort in that certainty. The Vikings knew exactly who Thor was. He was the friend who arrived when things looked hopeless. Protector of home and family. Modern audiences sometimes forget that Thor wasn't simply a warrior. He was also a husband to Sif, a father to Brud, Magni and Modi. Many archaeological discoveries suggest that Mjolnir pendants weren't worn only by warriors. They were worn by ordinary people seeking protection. Thor became associated with blessings for marriages, for homes, for children, for journeys. Even today, many modern heathens call upon Thor not for victory in battle, but for strength to protect their families and loved ones. Was Thor really just a drunk? Thor certainly enjoyed food and drink. The myths don't hide that. The famous tale where he drinks from a magical horn shows him consuming an impossible amount. Yet the story isn't about drunkenness. It's about demonstrating his incredible strength. Likewise, Thor's enormous appetite reflects vitality and abundance rather than recklessness. Modern films often exaggerate these traits for humour. The original myths present a more balanced figure. Strong, good-natured, approachable, sometimes hot-headed, but rarely cruel. Courage without cruelty. Thor's anger almost always has a cause. Someone has broken an oath, threatened the innocent, endangered the realms. Unlike many mythological heroes, Thor does not seek unnecessary conflict. He seeks resolution. If that resolution requires Mjolnir, then so be it. But violence is rarely his first purpose. Protection is. Why ordinary people loved Thor. Imagine over 1,000 years ago. Storms could destroy your crops. Winter could bring famine. Wild animals roamed nearby. Raiders threatened villages. Life was uncertain. In that world, Thor represented reassurance, someone powerful enough to stand between your family and the dangers beyond your door. Not a king, not a distant philosopher, a protector. Perhaps that is why Thor became one of the most widely worshipped gods throughout Scandinavia. He represented hope. What Thor still teaches us is Thor reminds us that real strength isn't measured by how hard we can hit. It's measured by what and who we choose to protect. The strongest person in the room shouldn't be the one people fear. They should be the one people feel safest standing beside. That lesson is just as relevant as today as it is 1,000 years ago. Whether we're protecting our families, standing up for a friend, helping a stranger, or defending those who cannot defend themselves, we honour the spirit that Thor represents. Conclusion. Thor was never simply the god of thunder. He was the protector of the 9 realms, the defender of Midgard, the guardian of ordinary people, the friend who answered when chaos came knocking. Yes, he possessed incredible strength. Yes, he loved a good feast. Yes, he could lose his temper. But beneath all of that was something far more important. A heart that fought not for conquest, but for protection. Perhaps that is why Thor's hammer became one of the most worn symbols in the Viking Age. It wasn't merely a symbol of power. It was a promise that strength should always stand beside compassion. And perhaps that is why, after more than 1,000 years, Thor remains one of the most beloved gods in Norse mythology. Not because he was the strongest, but because he chose to use that strength for everyone else. As always, thank you for watching my content, and if you like this video, then hit the like, and if you're new to the channel, then please subscribe, because it would be great to have you with us. Until next time, take care and be well. Skull.